in material life. So we'll discuss 14th verse today. Now, whoever has a book, or if you can repeat, please repeat, prabhu. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, text 14. Matra sparshastu kaunteya Shitoshna sukha dukkada Agamapayino nityas Dam stitikshasva bharata. Matra sparshastu kaunteya Shitoshna sukha dukkada Agamapayino nityas Tam stitikshasva bharata. Matra sparshastu kaunteya Shitoshna sukha dukkada Agamapayino nityas Tam stitikshasva bharata. Anybody wants to repeat, bro? You have any? Matra sparshastu kaunteya Shitoshna sukha dukkada Agamapayino nityas Tam stitikshasva bharata. Anybody else? Matra sparshastu kaunteya Shitoshna sukha dukkada
Agamaapayino nityas
Agamapayino nityas
Tamasa titikshava bharata.
Tam stitikshasva bharata. Anyone else? One more? Anyone else? Matra sparshastu kaunteya Shitoshna sukha dukkada
Agamapayino nityas
Agamapayino nityas
Tam stitikshasva bharata.
Tam stitikshasva bharata. Okay, bro, I'll read the word to word now. Matra sparshaha, sensory perception. To only Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, Shita, winter, Ushna, summer, Sukha, happiness, Dukkha, and pain, Daha, giving, Agama, appearing, Apayinaha, just try to tolerate, Bharata, O descendant of the Bharata dynasty. Translations and purports by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O scion of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Purport. In the proper discharge of duty, one has to learn to tolerate non-permanent appearances and disappearances of happiness and distress. According to Vedic injunction, one has to take his bath early in the morning. Even during the month of Magha, January, February, it is very cold at that time. But in spite of that, a man who abides by the religious principles does not hesitate to take his bath. Similarly, a woman does not hesitate to cook in the kitchen in the months of May and June, the hottest part of the summer season. One has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. Similarly, to fight is the religious principle of the Kshatriyas, And although one has to fight with some friend or relative, one should not deviate from his prescribed duty. One has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations of the religious principles in order to rise up to the platform of knowledge, because by knowledge and devotion only one can liberate himself from the clutches of Maya, illusion. The two different names of address given to Arjuna are also significant. To address him as Kaunteya signifies his blood relations from his mother's side, and to address him as Bharata signifies his greatness from his father's side. From both sides, he is supposed to have a great heritage. A great heritage brings responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of duties. Therefore, he cannot avoid fighting. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललित श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम Prabhu, can you hear me? Sound is okay. Hare Krishna. Mic. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Okay. So, Arjuna is facing the greatest calamity of his life. He is in extreme distress. You know, in our society culture also we say when people cry, right, that means they are in severe problem, right? When you see somebody crying, that means they are in severe trouble. And for a personality like Arjuna, who is a very powerful, courageous Kshatriya, he is literally crying. He does not want to fight now. And it is not the first battle he is going to fight. He has fought many, many battles in the past. But this particular battle, which he knows, either I have to kill my relatives or be killed by them. It is a do or die battle now. And he says, why are we fighting? Are just for this insignificant kingdom? Let them have it. Why I should bother? They don't know what is value of life, what is the value of relationship. But we understand these values, we understand the Vedic values, so why we should not tolerate and then give up the fight and go to forest and retire and live a secluded life. But Krishna was not in favor of this idea. And can you imagine, if you have the greatest problem in your life, what do you go to? You go to some friend of yours, correct? So imagine Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, is your friend. And you take any problem to your friend, you expect them to solve it. And Krishna, it is not ordinary personality. Arjuna has gone to his most intimate friend, the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna. He can solve any problem. But when Arjuna is literally crying, and Krishna, please help me, I am your disciple now. And the solution that Krishna is giving here is interesting. He's saying, just tolerate. Just tolerate. I know that you are feeling bad. It's okay. Tolerate. See? So this is interesting actually. So the greatest Arjuna feels it is a very, very great problem, but Krishna does not think so. Krishna does not think so. Krishna is saying you are making a big deal out of a non-issue. So just try to tolerate. Right? For example, sometimes when we are also going on the road, sometimes we have trouble, we have a thorn pricking our foot. But we keep walking, no? We take out and keep walking. We don't make a big scene out of the thorn in our leg, right? Okay, it happened, it is painful, but we still go on. So that is not a big deal for us. Arjuna is saying, Krishna is saying, okay, I know it is painful for you, but it's okay, you should tolerate and still fight. So what is happening here is, Arjuna is worried about the pains of the body, and Krishna is worried about the pains of the soul. This whole Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has already been accepted as the spiritual master of Arjuna. Whatever Krishna tells, Arjuna will accept. Krishna can tell, okay, Arjuna, after thinking everything, I am suggesting this is the best for you, he will accept. But why Krishna is giving full 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita advice to Arjuna, just to convince him to fight? Because the root cause of Arjuna's problem is not that he has to kill Bhishma, not that he has to kill Drona. The root cause of Arjuna's problem is his bodily conception of life. And as long as the bodily conception of life is very, very strong, then what happens is we cannot really solve any of our problems. We think we are trying to solve our problem, but we will get the opposite result. So Krishna is saying, the real solution to your pain is you should do that which will elevate you to spiritual platform. That which will make you remain in the bodily platform is not good for you and not good for others. So Krishna is slowly trying to give this message very strongly. There are almost 25 plus verses here just to convince Arjuna of one point, that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. Because this bodily conception of life is so deep rooted in our name and personality that it is very difficult to think separately from this body. Correct, no? So we identify ourselves with the body, we identify ourselves with all the relations with the body. We identify ourselves with the place of birth where this body has born. We are just strongly identified, right? Patriotism is there. We strongly identify, live and die for our country. Sometimes just imagine actually, so if you are living close to the border, you are 5 kilometers this side of the border, you have taken birth. Then your whole life, Bharat Mata ki jai. Then if you had by mistake taken birth 5 kilometers that side of the border, then what happens? Pakistan Mata ki jai, or whatever actually, right? So the point is we so strongly identify ourselves with the body and everything related to the body. So the pain of the body is my pain. This is the misidentification that Krishna is trying to elevate. So in order to address the core problem, which is the bodily conception, the solution Krishna is giving is tolerate, titikshasva. This is one of the very important qualities if anybody wants to advance in spiritual life. This is one of the very important qualities, titikshasva, tolerate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Trunadapi sunichana taroriva sahishnuna amanidana manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Who can chant Krishna's names all the time is one who has ability to tolerate like a tree and who is more humble than a blade of grass. A person who keeps getting disturbed for every small upset that happens in their life, they cannot practice spiritual life, they can never come to spiritual platform. So this is a very important quality. And now we understand the nature of this tolerance. See, just understand what Krishna is telling here. Arjuna wanted to tolerate the pain of not fighting. For example, for Arjuna, not fight is also a pain, because if he does not fight, he has to go to a forest and retire. They have no chance to rule any kingdom. The entire earth is under Hastinapur rule. They will not get any place to rule. They have to retire to forest like a sannyasi now. He is saying that is also very painful. But he is saying, I will tolerate that pain. But what Krishna is saying is, no. No need to tolerate that pain. No need to think about that pain. Instead, try to tolerate the pain of killing your relatives. See, Arjuna is willing to tolerate some other pain, but Krishna is asking him to tolerate some other pain actually. So this is the trick actually. So the point is, some kind of pain is going to help us elevate ourselves to the spiritual platform. And some kind of pain or some kind of austerity or tapasya, if you can call it, will keep us on the material bodily platform. Simple, right? So Prabhupada says in this regard, whenever we take birth, we take birth as a package, right? The sufferings come with our birth. Prakriti kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasha. So many times when you are faced with a problem in life, our first natural reaction is how to elevate the pain, correct? So for example, we have some problem, it's cold today, I have to wear a shawl or a sweater, something I have to do. And I have to go somewhere, so I cannot walk, I have to arrange for some vehicle. I cannot take the pain of walking all 5 kilometers, right? So I am always trying to reduce my suffering. This is the natural condition of the jiva. We are always trying to do something to reduce our suffering. That Krishna is not saying no. But the point here is, there is some kind of suffering we are bound to suffer anyway actually. Whether you like it or not, every one of us takes birth according to some conditioning. Somebody may take birth with a conditioning of, let's say, some asthma or some disease, some conditioning is there. They have to tolerate that actually. You can try to take medicine, but if medicine is not working, then you have to tolerate. You cannot make a big deal out of it. Correct? So sometimes some people have many, we may all want to fly, but our bodily conditioning does not allow us to fly. So what people said is, instead of, if I cannot fly, I'll make a machine which can make me fly. So they spent a lot of energy in inventing machines which can make them fly. If you could tolerate the urge to fly, because your body is not destined to fly actually. So then what happens is, when you try to solve your problems in a way which is not according to Shastra, not as prescribed by Shastra, then what happens is, you create more problems than what you are trying to solve. You want to solve your problem, but if you do not have this tendency to tolerate, then what happens is, if you want to overreact to every single problem that we have, then we will end up creating more misery for ourselves. More misery for ourselves. This whole modern civilization is like that. For example, let's take, so in earlier days, so much civilization has been going on for so many centuries, so many ages. And somebody did not like the fact that I have to take a bullock cart or a horse for riding. I want to go without that actually. I want a motor car actually. So a whole civilization has been, see, earlier there was no need for traveling so much. People used to stay at a village or somewhere, and they used to have their livelihood, relationships, everything that they need for their life around that place. Once in a lifetime they will go for a pilgrimage, once in a while they will go out for some outing. That's it. Yatra, Ganga Snan, that's all. We see in Krishna book, once Yashoda Mata, all Nanda Maharaj, they all wanted to take bath in Ganga. That Krishna did not like the idea, he brought Ganga herself to Vrindavan anyway. So the point is, so once in a while people go on yatra. For a lunar eclipse, they go for yatra. For solar eclipse, they go for yatra, like that. So to Kurukshetra, they went for solar eclipse, right? So once in a while you go for yatra, but your whole life is around a particular place. You don't have to go here and there, here and there. Now what happened is, somebody could not tolerate that lifestyle. They said, it is too troublesome for me, and then they tried to invent a modern way of conveyance. It looks like a mode of passion. It looks very, very like a nectar in the beginning, but poison in the end. So what happened? We built a whole civilization around transport. And if daily some lakhs of flights, if they don't fly, then the economy will collapse. If lakhs of trucks, if they don't fly, then economy will collapse. We will not even get our food. And we made transport a part of our life. Without that, we will starve actually, like that. And now initially what started out to be known as economic development or development, now what people are saying, no, this is not sustainable actually, we are destroying our environment. As global warming it's causing global warming, it's creating more problems. So now there is a COP conference of different countries. They meet, climate conferences are happening. All the countries meet and they discuss how to reduce this usage of modern fuel. Now first, the scientists only pushed us to using this modern transport. And now, after everyone has purchased a car, they are saying, no, you cannot drive car so much, you take metro actually. So first you had to solve the problem of having a conveyance, then you solved it by using a car, then you cannot use car, then you have to use metro. Because you are so addicted to it, then you have to go to electric vehicles. And the fuel cells that are used for electric vehicles are even more polluting actually. So the point is, we could have just tolerated the situation that, okay, I will live in a particular place, in this community, in this locality, and live my life here. And I will live whatever God has given me with little effort, what I can improve my life, that I will improve. But I will not go over and above my ability to do it. Then what happens is, when you lose this ability to tolerate problems and live life in a natural way, then you create more problems for yourself. It is not that something that we are saying out of concoction. So this is a verse from Bhagavatam we'll read. So Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Nrsingadev. He's saying 7:9:17. Yasmat priya viyoga samyoga janma shokagnina sakala yonishu dahyamanaha dukkaushadam tad api dukkham atad dhiyaham bhuman brahmami vadame tavadasya yogam. O Great One, O Supreme Lord, because of combination with pleasing and displeasing circumstances, and because of separation from them, one is placed in a most regrettable position within heavenly or hellish planets, as if burning in a fire of lamentation. Although there are many remedies by which to get out of miserable life, any such remedies in the material world are more miserable than the miseries themselves. Therefore, I think that the only remedy is to engage in your service. Kindly instruct me in such service. Here Prahlad Maharaj is saying, in this material world we have many pleasing and displeasing circumstances we encounter. And when we are encountered with a unpleasing circumstance, then what we do is we try to look for a remedy. And many times he says, and these remedies are more worse than the original misery. So, Prabhu also comments, The fact is that in material life, whether one is miserable or happy, both conditions are miserable. If one actually wants happy, blissful life, one must become Krishna conscious and constantly engage in the transcendental service of the Lord. That is the real remedy. The entire world is under the illusion that people will be happy by advancing in materialistic measures to counteract the miseries of conditioned life. But this attempt will never be successful. Humanity must be trained to engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. That is the purpose of the Krishna consciousness movement. There can be no happiness in changing one's material conditions, for everywhere there is trouble and misery. So this is the point. We are not willing to accept that we are born into misery actually. We feel so privileged sometimes that we feel we are not entitled for any misery. We are absolutely entitled for misery. Because we have made some wrong choices in the past, because of which we are now here. Prabhupada tells, for example, somebody is driving a Rolls Royce car and somebody is driving a maybe Maruti 800, something like that. This Maruti 800 person can say, why I have this kind of car? Why he has that big car? Because you paid for Maruti 800, he paid for Rolls Royce. That's it. So you can say, why my life is like this? Why somebody else's life is much better? Because you paid this much only. You deserve this much. Somebody else paid a little bit more. Based on your activities in the past, you are being given a different grade of facility. And sometimes you have a little better facility, sometimes you don't have a better facility. And we are ourselves creating these good and bad facilities for ourselves. It is we who are putting ourselves in misery because of our bad actions in the past, or bad choices in the past. And it is in our hands only to again put ourselves back in a good situation by rectifying our choices and rectifying our karma. And now in the process, what Krishna is again trying to tell here is, see, in the process of improving your situation, do not get distracted by temporary miseries. Your real goal is something else. Your real goal is spiritual goal. But when you try to solve material problems, what happens is your whole time goes into solve the material problem. You will get distracted and your real goal is missed. Correct? You want to make money in life, everybody wants to make money in life. But if you want to make so much money in life that you cannot even spend it in many lifetimes, and in the meanwhile you did not have time for chanting and any spiritual life, then what is the purpose, right? See, Krishna will explain, elaborate more, because everything material is temporary and miserable ultimately. So we are in a miserable situation, and of our own, because of our own choice actually, because of our own karma, we are in this situation. And Prabhupada uses the word, make best use of the bad bargain. You are in a bad situation, correct, that is accepted. First accept that we are not privileged for an absolute happiness at this point of time. We are entitled for misery, and whatever we are entitled for, we are getting it. And now the solution to our misery is not to remain on the material platform, the solution is to come to the spiritual platform. As long as you remain on the material platform and solve your problems, you will solve one problem, create two more problems. You will solve three problems, create four more problems. I used to, in our college days, we used to have STD trunk call. If you have to call home, you have to make a trunk call, and then you have to go to STD booth, wait in a line for 15 minutes, then you will get a chance to talk to your parents for 2 minutes, and somebody will knock the door, come out, I want to talk actually. It was inconvenient, and the main mode of communication was you send a letter, and you would post today, it will go after 7 days, and in the meanwhile, anything could have changed. So it was definitely inconvenient, and what happens is in the process of solving the communication problem, we create so many other problems actually. See how telecommunication has evolved now from no G to zeros, from 0G to 5G. And people think, see, my original problem was just that I had to call somebody, that's it. And the problem is in the process of solving that, I got distracted so much that I created something called a smartphone. Absolute nonsense it is actually. Like Bhaktikas Maharaj used to tell, when he used to go to Bangladesh, in those villages, they used to do village preaching. And they used to go to villages, they do kirtan and they do prasadam distribution and little pravachan they do. And the villagers used to receive our devotees very nicely in 70s and 80s. And in those days, electrification, even electricity was not there in many villages. What people used to do in the evening, they just have harikatha in the evening, some kirtan, harikatha, and then wait for the morning, sun will come and go on doing your life, go on with your life. And they had a lot of time. And they were receiving very nicely. And slowly, in India also, electrification started. With electrification, first radio, then TV. Slowly comes. And Maharaj says he could see that whichever villages got electrified, Maharaj could see change in consciousness in that village. They are not so receptive like before. And Maharaj could tell, just by the way they are behaving and receiving, Maharaj could tell whether a village is having electricity or not actually. So I seen, so now how, even in my own life I have seen, even we used to have college preaching some time back, people who are doing college preaching we know. So in 90s, very, very successful college preaching, extremely successful college preaching. But now if you go and try the same techniques and see what happens actually. People who have grown up seeing smart TV, cable TV and smartphone, they're so much distracted in life that they've forgotten the main purpose of life. See, you wanted to solve your original problem of just calling somebody real time, and you created a new problem that people are just addicted to this smartphone actually. And they're not even useful for material life. Forget about spiritual, they're not even useful for material life actually. Then, so this is how it will be actually. And somebody, we give credit to Thomas Alva Edison for creating a bulb, light. Very, very wonderful actually. Thank you very much, Sir Thomas Alva Edison. Thank you, sir. So you gave us light. Today we are having lights here. Thank you. But the point is, when we didn't have lights also, civilization was going on actually. It was not that our Vedic civilization could not invent anything better. They wanted to live as close to nature as possible. So now see what happens. Just for the convenience of these lights that we need here, somebody has to maintain an electricity grid, an electricity power station to supply the electricity. And somebody else has to maintain a dam or a power station to produce the electricity. And somebody else has to transport the coal to thermal power station. and somebody else has to go into a coal mine to dig the coal. See, I don't know how many of you have seen Singareni or sometimes, anybody you have been there? It is extremely hellish to get into a coal mine and dig the coal actually. So somebody has to suffer hellish conditions to extract the coal, so that, and somebody has to transport it, and somebody has to maintain a power station, somebody has to maintain the electrical grid, so that you can put a bulb here and then have this light. Okay, so we took so much trouble, but so was it worth it actually? Was it worth it? The point is, even probably we did not have electricity, people were happy retiring by evening. By 6 o'clock, you just retire from whatever you are doing, take little rest, have harikatha, sleep early, get up early in the morning, do your sadhana and get back to work. Now that there is electricity, people don't want to sleep in the night. They want to work 24/7. This 24/7 culture is a outcome of Sir Thomas Alva Edison's invention actually. He thought he was solving some small problem, but we created many more problems. So what happened in the process of scientific advancement in many different fields, we got so much distracted that we are stuck on the material platform, and we are getting engrossed on the material platform more and more. We are solving one problem, creating 10 more problems. Solving 20 problems, creating 50 more problems. So therefore, in the Science of Self-Realization, Prabhupada, you've seen this book, right? Prabhupada's book, Science of Self-Realization. If you don't have a copy, please purchase a copy. It will be available in the stall. There is a chapter which says, finding spiritual solutions to material problems. Prabhupada recommended that actually, our material problems should not be addressed on the material platform. It has to be addressed from a spiritual platform. Then only you will get some answer. Otherwise, what will happen is we will create more and more misery for us. So here, let us see Arjuna's case also. He did not want to fight. Arjuna did not want to fight. Not fighting is good, right? Today also we see a lot of wars are going on. Russia-Ukraine war is going on, and so many nations are fighting. And people don't want to fight. When Vietnam war was going on, when America was having a war in Vietnam, there was a big movement in US that the young people, they were being forcibly recruited into army to go and fight in Vietnam. And they did not like it. There was a big movement to oppose war. There were placards saying peace, peace, peace. Everybody wanted peace. And Maharaj says, people want peace not because they hate war, because they want peace because they can go on with their sense gratification very nicely. This war is a disturbance in our sense gratification. Not that I want to serve Krishna if there is no war actually. Not that I want to become a devotee if there is no war. I don't want war so that I can go on with my pubs and bars or movies or whatever. I can enjoy my life nicely. And I can go on with my illusion. So here Arjuna is putting somewhat a proposal to stop war actually. His proposal is everybody will live peacefully. I will live peacefully in the forest and they will peacefully live in the kingdom. It's okay. Everybody is peace. Everybody is peaceful. But Krishna is saying, no, there is a better, higher purpose behind the war. The purpose of peace is not that people can go on with their sense gratification. The purpose of peace is to give chance to the conditioned souls to come to spiritual platform. What is the use of peace which does not help? Hare Krishna. What is the use of peace which does not help you become a devotee of Krishna? Correct? We want peaceful situation because we want to chant peacefully. Not because we want to forget Krishna. If your aim is to forget Krishna, forget our spiritual life, forget the fact that we are not the body, forget the fact that we are spirit soul, and engross ourselves on the materialistic platform and increase our miseries more and more, that is not the purpose of peace actually. The purpose of peace is to give a chance to the conditioned soul to advance in spiritual life. So that is why a war which will create a better situation for this purpose is better than peace which does not give that situation. The point is the whole world was being ruled by Duryodhana and party. And the conditions are not favorable. It's all demons ruling actually. The conditions are not favorable for spiritual progress of general mass of people. So Krishna wanted to establish a thoroughly pious devotee like Yudhishthira Maharaj as the emperor of the world, so that people in general will have a better opportunity for going back to Godhead. That is the better cause actually. So for a better cause, That is why they had to fight. And the general good that happens in the war is the benefit of war is worth it actually. The risk and the pain that you take in the war is worth it, because the purpose of the war is to create a situation so that in the society people can take up spiritual life nicely. That is the purpose. So ahimsa paramo dharma is right. Ahimsa is paramo dharma, but actually that is correct. But there is a continuation of that verse is actually there. That himsa, that adharma, that himsa, which actually is meant for upholding dharma, is more glorious actually. Because the goal is that. So Krishna here is telling Arjuna that actually you are thinking that you are benefiting everyone by stopping the war, but actually you will be achieving the opposite result. It will not be beneficial for you, it will not be beneficial for the other party also. Even for Duryodhana also, war was only beneficial actually. Even for Pandavas, war is beneficial. General mass of people also, war is beneficial. Because how is it beneficial for Duryodhana and party? Yeah. So it was beneficial for Duryodhana and party because they had become so sinful that there was no other way of purifying them other than killing them on the battlefield. So that in the presence of Krishna, if they get killed, they at least go to Brahmajyoti, cool off for some time and come again resume their life actually. But otherwise their sinful propensity will keep on increasing and they will keep on getting more and more sinful births. So Krishna is the only personality who is capable of thinking about or determining what is absolute good. Krishna is absolute, right? So whatever he does is absolute. That means whatever he is deciding is beneficial for the opposing party also, for the party of Pandavas also, and for the general population also. He is absolute. He knows what is best for everyone actually. So now Krishna is trying to, instead of giving one point solution, is trying to tell, okay, now please try to tolerate actually. What we are being asked to tolerate is in the process of discharging your duty. And what is our duty? Our duties are determined in Shastra in such a way that if you perform your duty as prescribed in Shastra, slowly we will elevate ourselves to the spiritual platform. Unknowingly. So first the society is expected to be divided into varnas. A Shudra, he performs his duty as a Shudra properly, then he gets elevated to the next level. Automatically. A Vaishya, he gets elevated to the next level. Kshatriya gets elevated to the next level. Brahmana gets elevated to the next level. And finally a Vaishnava. That is a natural progress. So what you have to do, sir? Say, I am a Kshatriya. What should I do to become a Vaishnava or Brahmana next life? Or what should I do to elevate my consciousness? You don't have to do anything, sir. You are a Kshatriya, you just have to do one thing. Okay, Yudhyecha apalayanam. That means if there is a fight for a dharmic cause, you will never show your back. In the matter of protecting your citizens, you have to be in the front to die for protecting your citizens. And for the cause of upholding dharma, you cannot refuse a fight. That is a Kshatriya. And they should be eager to see when will the opportunity come for me to fight. Not that they are just, if I fight, what will happen to my future? I already have so much bank balance, so who will enjoy that? No. Kshatriya does not think like that. Kshatriya's duty is, it's very painful. It could be painful actually, but that is the nature of a Kshatriya to have that Ishvara Bhava, and along with it comes a duty. So Maharaj says many times people talk about our rights, human rights, citizens' rights, but nobody talks about duties. If you want rights, then first you have to know what your duties are. If you want Kshatriya's rights, Kshatriya has the right to maintain many queens, a royal palace and royal lifestyle. That is his right. But he has a duty to perform also. Brahmanas also have privileges. Brahmanas can sit on asanas like this and give lectures and guide society, but they also have a duty to perform. In Mahabharata it is told a minimum qualification of a Brahmana is at least he should have his senses under control and he should be studying Shastra. Minimum qualification of a Brahmana if you want to be considered as a Brahmana. So depending on your nature, you are at somewhere you cannot artificially stamp somebody as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, but according to our nature, we are naturally inclined to certain situation. Somebody says, oh sir, I cannot think so much. You tell me, whatever you tell, I will do. Okay, do it. You are a very good helper. And do it. Somebody is very good at agriculture and Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijya, the professions of Vaishyas. Then do it. So you do your duty properly. Then by doing your duty properly, you will automatically get elevated to the next level. So in the matter of discharging our duty, which is meant for spiritual elevation ultimately, we cannot get distracted by temporary inconveniences. So what is our duty, sir? What is our duty now actually? In Kali Yuga, we are here now, all of us are Shudras practically. There are elevated devotees, many elevated devotees, Vaishnavas here, I should not be speaking like that. So Kalau Shudra Sambhava says, Kali Yuga, almost everyone is practically on the Shudra platform, unless they are enlightened by a qualified spiritual master actually. So then what is our duty here? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is clear, Kali Yuga mein Yuga Dharma. Yuga Dharma is Harinama Sankirtana. Kali Yuga Dharma, whatever it may be. Now there is no point. I want to act as a Kshatriya. Where is the situation for acting as a Kshatriya? Where is the situation for acting like as a proper Brahmana? Where is the situation for a proper Vaishya? Where is the situation for proper Shudra? All that also needs Daivi Varnashrama is required, but the first thing that is required is Kali Yuga, before thinking about any other dharma, am I a Kshatriya, am I a Vaishya, am I a Shudra, am I a, what should I do? No, am I a Brahmachari, am I a Grihastha, am I a Vanaprastha? That is later. First dharma is Harinama Sankirtana. Whoever you may be, whatever situation you are on, our first dharma, first duty is Harinama Sankirtana. Chant the holy names of the Lord. That is Yuga Dharma actually. And in the matter of doing this, now we cannot let any temporary inconveniences stop us actually. Okay sir, so I have seen some people say, I am busy earning money now, when I have a lot of money then I will sit peacefully and chant actually. It will never happen like that actually. And I practically know one case, one person whom I was following up and saying, Prabhu, why are you not chanting? Your wife is chanting, your daughter is chanting, you're bringing your friends are also chanting. Why are you not chanting actually? No, Prabhu, you don't know actually I have a lot of problems in life. First I will clear them all and then I will sit once and then I will become a true devotee actually. In the meanwhile, what happened? He got a paralysis stroke. Over. Now he cannot chant. So, what to do now actually? See, the point is, say one example that is given is if you stand on the shore of the ocean and say, sir, there is a boat, you please take the boat into the ocean. I'm waiting for the tides to subside, I'm waiting for the ocean to become calm and peaceful, then I will go inside actually. That will never go, that will never happen actually, right? Ocean will always be turbulent, tides will always keep coming actually. So material life is like that. Material life, miseries will come like waves actually. Like waves, that is how it is. And we have signed up for this. The day on which we made the choice of forgetting Krishna, we have signed up the contract to take material life, which comes with miseries. And we have to accept it. And Krishna is giving these miseries as we deserve so that one day we will come to our senses. Why we are suffering? What is the solution for my suffering? Why should I suffer? So when this is called Brahma Jigyasa, when this awakens, then we come to spiritual platform. So the idea here is we should understand that our real track in life is spiritual track. And whatever we do on the material platform is for the basic upkeep of the body. Just like if you have a car, right? The real purpose of the car is to go to office in the car, something like that. Okay, or maybe you have some purpose for purchasing the car now. The real purpose is go to the office and do your work at office actually, correct? Not the real purpose is once you get a car, you are so mesmerized and you are daily decorating the car, arati for the car and then everything for the car. Forget that you have an office also actually. Not like that actually, correct? The real track is something else. Our real track is elevating ourselves spiritually by practicing dharma as prescribed in Shastra. And in that process, because we are in the material world, we have certain conditioning with which we have taken birth, and material life also is by nature temporary and miserable. We have to have this tendency to tolerate. Otherwise what happens is we will get quickly distracted into something which will make us forget our real goal. And even after you solve all your material problems, so you have a global warming problem solved, okay, and you have electric vehicles, you have this fuels cannot be disposed problem, okay, solved, nuclear waste problem solved, everything you solve, still the problems will keep coming like waves actually. You solved COVID-19, okay, then COVID-24 something, we don't know what will happen actually, right? So diseases are not going to stop, that much we know. Death is not going to stop, that much we know. Old age is not going to stop, that much we know. And repeated birth is not going to stop, that much we know. These are all painful things. Even after you solve all your material problems, let's say you are the most advanced scientist in the world, still you cannot solve these 4 problems. First of all, you cannot solve the basic problems that you are trying to solve also. So the point is, now here, when you are trying to do all this, don't get mesmerized or don't get distracted so much into materialistic affairs actually. When you have a problem, okay, as per Shastra, whatever is minimal remedy that is required, we do it. I'm feeling cold, okay, have a shawl, no problem. But if you want a nice bungalow with full AC heater so that you can come and chant, then gone. 10 years of your life is gone to earn that money, right? You could wear a shawl and then chant nicely. You can take prasadam and then be happy and serve Krishna. No, you cannot tolerate this problem. You need a lavish bungalow, or some nice facility. You need to be someone in the society before you start chanting. Then what happens is your life, you will get distracted. See, everybody does not take birth with all the facilities, correct? Somebody has, because of his karma, without any extra effort, they get a lot of Lakshmi. Without putting a lot of prayas, what is it called? Ugra karma, prabhu, is this right? So, our philosophy is very simple actually. Whatever we are destined to get, we will get with normal endeavor. 8 to 9 hours you work sincerely, then you will get what you are destined for. Be happy with that. Trupta. So you have to be happy, self-satisfied. You have to be satisfied with whatever you are destined according to your karma. Don't earn for more actually. Don't earn for more. Then what happens is, then you will get totally distracted. Then you will start doing ugra karma, and it cannot change your karma overnight, and you will unnecessarily get distracted, deviated. Be happy with whatever we are destined according to our karma. Somebody may have a big car, I may have a small car. Somebody may have a lavish facility, I may have not so much lavish facility. By my own past misdeeds, whatever suffering I have to go through, okay, let me suffer, no problem. But I will go on chanting. This attitude is very good actually. Not that every single material problem you have to solve. I've seen people get distracted. For example, their children, sometimes they don't pick up so much in education. No, they have to go to IIT only and they have to sit on the top of the world only actually. Otherwise they will not feel like chanting also. What to do? You have your children, okay, you do your best to give them education. According to their karma, they will come up actually. See, don't own them more than Krishna actually. Sometimes people own children and relatives more than Krishna, as if you are a better well-wisher for them than Krishna itself actually. Krishna also does not care about them so much, but you care more actually. Not like that. So we have to strike a balance. Please strike a balance between material and spiritual. Our real track is spiritual track. Material life, because we have unfortunately taken this choice of coming down to the material platform, we have to keep our body and soul together so that I can practice Krishna consciousness. I have to keep servicing my car so that I can go to office every day, that's it. So I have to keep servicing my body, and my upkeep of the body I have to take care so that I can go on chanting and go on with my service of Krishna actually. That is the real track. Real track is always spiritual track. Material life is just, you have to tolerate, that's all. Don't over endeavor to solve your material problems. With little endeavor, whatever you can solve, you solve, then tolerate, that's all. Somebody is having cancer, then what do you do actually? You can go to 10 hospitals and you don't get cured, then what do you do? And tolerate, if possible, go to a dham and chant and then pass away. That's it. What can you do? Till last minute you cannot run around to America, Africa, Antarctica, all these things, right? At some point you have to say, okay, I have done my thing, I have put sufficient endeavor to solve it. Okay, this is what Krishna has planned for me, so okay, let me tolerate, that's all. So the point here we're trying to make is, please develop this habit of titikshasva. Anybody who does not have this habit of tolerating material inconveniences will get distracted on the material platform so much that they will not be able to come up to spiritual platform. This is the message, that's it. Okay, Prabhu, it's 12:15. We'll end by 12:30. Unless if anybody has questions, I think we'll take Prabhu. That is better actually, I feel. No questions. All elevated souls. No questions. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
You have given a nice class. Thanks. So, Prabhuji, my question is that you have explained about the tolerating the things. So it's very not easy to tolerate the things for normal people like us, because we have a very weak sadhana and we have a deep-rooted condition. So my question is that how to increase the tolerance so that we can tolerate?
How to increase the tolerance? He's saying, I want to, how to increase the tolerance so that we can tolerate. He's saying, I want to tolerate, but I am not able to tolerate. So what should I do so that I can be more tolerating? So only one answer Krishna has actually. So even Arjuna says in 6th chapter, right? Krishna, what are you speaking? Actually, you want me to control the mind? Oh, not possible actually. If you want, you ask me, Arjuna, please control the wind, I will control it for you. No problem actually. But controlling mind, not possible actually. So, Krishna says, Asamshayam Mahabaho, Manoriva Sudushkaram. He says, no doubt, mind is extremely difficult to control. Abhyasena Takonti. He says, by practice you can control it. Krishna is saying, Krishna is acknowledging that it is impossible to control the mind, it's very difficult to control the mind. Krishna is saying it's very difficult actually. But he's saying with practice you can do it actually. So everything starts with practice, prabhyasa, practice only. And practice in the association of devotees who are more advanced than us always helps, Prabhu, actually. That is why we are told actually sadhu sangha is very important, because it helps us develop all these qualities which we lack so much. So we should, first of all, even if you are sadhu sangha, if you don't have willingness to tolerate, nothing can work out actually, right? Even if you are just sitting next to your own Guru Maharaj also, or spiritual master also, anybody, we will not be able to take benefit actually. First, we should have the willingness to tolerate, willingness to develop these qualities. And of course, it is not easy, Prabhu. Overnight, we cannot come to the topmost platform, that is understood. But in the association of devotees who are more advanced than us, and seeking help and practice. So, for example, today you are not even somebody who cannot be without eating laddu. He has sugar, but he cannot be without eating laddu. Okay. First, at least try to eat every alternate day. Then every 2 days, every 3 days, every 7 days, and stop. So Vedic process is gradual process, but steadily we have to go actually. And the association of devotees will help actually. Somebody is more advanced, how we see how other devotees are doing it, right? Then we get inspiration. See, the point is, Prabhu, when we have our goal fixed, right? Then everything becomes easy actually. The real problem is, Prabhuji is asking me to come early in the morning, 4:30 is so difficult. Yeah. At least 6:30 is okay, right? Why 4:30 actually? So, we feel the real problem is we don't feel it is worth it actually. It is trouble, definitely, but we don't feel it is worth the trouble. Because we are not probably still convinced about the advantage of being Krishna conscious. The necessity of being Krishna conscious. Somewhere that could be the problem also actually. Because when we are firmly fixed on the goal, right, then we will do anything to attain it actually. If you, for example, if you really badly want something, we see people who badly want to become IAS, in my college, at least UP people, they want to badly become IAS because that increases the demand in their dowry circle actually, something like that, I don't know. Crazy. They don't want to go to US also, they want to become IAS, the Lal Batti, they want the Lal Batti actually. They don't want crores, they want Lal Batti. So that is the prestige. So they will do anything for it. They will give up their so-called material enjoyment. They will go and sit in Delhi in a Delhi IS study circle, and then literally give 3-4 years of their life for it actually. Because they feel the sacrifice is worth it. So I think when it all starts with Shravanam Kirtanam, no? When we regularly read Prabhupada books and associate with devotees, our conviction of practicing Krishna consciousness increases. Then we understand that this is the real thing, the only thing which will ultimately give me happiness. And everything else is literally time waste. I'm just wasting my time in the material platform. When that is firmly understood, right, then we'll be willing to do any sacrifice actually. Many times we may not feel, oh, so much trouble, right? To take so much trouble actually, it's okay. We don't feel it is worth it. That is the problem. Probably. But the solution is simple, Prabhu. Practice and association with devotees. And books are there. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, anybody else? Anybody else, if you want to speak something also, you're welcome. Because a lot of senior devotees are sitting here. Radhakant Prabhu is here. Srinivas Gopal Prabhu. Many devotees are there. Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances. I felt it's very nice class, and personally it gave me so much inspiration. Thank you so much. You gave different explanations and examples with different dimensions to tolerate certain things. It is my understanding and comment on your class. I felt our tolerance has some worth in the eyes of Krishna to advance in our further Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, it is not my words. Actually, it is still Prabhupada's words only. So, whatever we know, whatever little bit we know, whatever little bit we are trying to tell, is only because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, Srila Prabhupada's mercy only actually, in Guru Maharaj. So, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Gaur Nitai. So, Hare Krishna.
This verse is coming, Prabhuji, very early part of second chapter. And if you look at the position of the verse, it is in the middle, like just Krishna has introduced about the soul and immediately is telling about tolerate. So can you explain like how, why this is taught very, like, you know, he's explaining soul and in between he is taking this verse.
So Krishna, I think what I understand the question is here is like, so Krishna has just started explaining Bhagavad Gita and just 2 verses back only it started, but immediately is saying tolerate, that's all. As if there is no other option, no other alternative. And does Krishna have to be so harsh in the middle? Can he not give some mild solutions in the beginning and take us to a higher level actually? So I don't know, Prabhu, I'll try to answer according to my own realization only. So sometimes what happens is, when we are on the platform of illusion, the solution to the problems which we imagine is to come to the platform of reality. Example is, for example, somebody is sleeping and in the sleep there is a dream, there is a tiger attacking that person. Is this sleep? You can see that the person is sleeping in the room and maybe in the dream a tiger is attacking the person and is saying, save me, save me, save me, save me. Then what is the expectation? What do we do actually? You awaken that person, right? The solution is to awake that person actually, not that you go into his dream and fight with the tiger actually. Right? That option is not there actually. So the problems that we take to Krishna are like that only actually. On the material platform, we imagine so many things. And the solution is to come to the reality, wake up to the reality, not that we... See, we want Krishna to come into our illusion and solve the problems. No, Krishna wants to come uplift us to the reality, actually, platform of reality. What we are thinking as problems are not real problems actually. The real problems is we are thinking that they are problems actually. Our misidentification with the body is the problem. As long as that is there, then even if I come to your dream and kill the tiger, something else will come and bother you again actually. What to do now actually? In the dream, if tiger can come, many other animals also can come. How many times I'll come into the dream and rescue, right? Not like that. So the solution for all the problems, because we are on the platform of illusion, the problems that we are so bothered with are also on the material platform, which are illusory actually. That's why in the beginning we told one thing, we are worried about the pains of the body. Krishna is worried about the pains of the soul. We don't know that we are the soul. We think we are the body. That's why we are telling Krishna, I want to be happy but solve my material problems. I want to be happy but solve the problems of my body. And Krishna says, you want to be happy or you want to make your body happy actually. No, I want to be happy but solve the problems of my body actually. Krishna says, if you want to be happy, then the only thing I can do is bring you to the spiritual platform. That's it. What can I do? I think Krishna has no choice here, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
toleration is the only solution. Like
Toleration. Otherwise, we will get quickly distracted actually. Yeah. Otherwise, somebody will end up their whole life building a dream machine which will ensure you will not get horrible dreams. Whole life will be spent in that waste of time actually. Anyway. So, Prabhu, time is 12:26. We have 4 more minutes, Prabhu. So anybody else wants to comment or add? If you want to add any more few points you want to add, please add.
Hello. Hare Krishna. I have one doubt actually. Materialistic happiness always gives happiness at the initial stage of life and after become miserably. I agree that. By doing the sadhana only we will overcome that. And today I did 50% of my sadhana at this place. But 70% of distraction from the society. Beyond the practice, attractiveness from the attractions coming from the society. How we will handle the percentage ratio? Like I did only 50%, but 80% will come from the society.
Yeah, so that is very, very, very important and nice question actually. He's saying, sir, I am trying my best to be a nice devotee. Right, everyone will try, right? Everyone is self-interested. You will try, but the main challenge is probably not from me, but from others who are distracting me from my endeavor to elevate spiritually. Hey, why are you doing this? Oh, this will not help you ultimately. Don't waste your time. See, there are so many people discouraging us from the spiritual path. That's a practical problem actually. It's a practical problem. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells very clearly. Some devotees asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is the definition of a Vaishnava? He says, Asadu Sangha Tyaga, a Vaishnava Achar. First quality of a Vaishnava is Asadu Sangha, give up. As long as we have emotional, sentimental attachment to non-Vaishnavas who have no appreciation or no understanding of spiritual platform, then you are doomed actually. So slowly, at least not that today you go and give up your family, give up your friends, not like that actually. We are not asking that. See, we look at everyone, okay, I have a family, okay, I have a duty towards my family, I have a duty towards the society, whatever it is, that much only I will do. But I don't derive emotional attachment from family or non-devotees, even if they are families. For example, what we do is, one principle we follow is, we associate with everybody on our terms and conditions, not on their terms and conditions. You want to be my friend on my terms, not on your terms. You want to be my friend, every Sunday we go to Satsang at Attapur temple. Not that if I want to be your friend, you will take me to some place every Saturday, no. I want to be a friend with you. I really want to be your friend, but on my terms. Because a person at a higher level of consciousness always has to dictate, a person at a lower level of consciousness has to hear. This is the system. Whenever the system is changed, a person at a lower level of consciousness dictates and higher level of consciousness person hears, it is doom actually. So I want to be your friend, but on my terms and conditions. Family members, everyone also, I want to take care of you very nicely, but on my terms and conditions. You let me chant, then it's okay. When the terms of conditions for practicing spiritual life are lost, then there is no meaning for that relationship actually. So we have to be very serious about this. Is a very, very important aspect, Prabhu. As long as we have emotional, sentimental attachment to non-devotees actually, we will have serious trouble actually. You cannot please devotees and non-devotees. Make up your mind. You want to please devotees or non-devotees? Both you cannot please. Hare Krishna. So thank you, Prabhu. It's time now.
So much for Prabhuji for a wonderful class.
Thank you for offering
thank you very much.
for my
His Grace Sri Krishna Kumar Prabhu ki jai.